Stephen,
Andrew.
do you fancy spending a quiet night inside number 9?
Yeah, I think so.
Good, me too. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. We're going into the scripts for the final time in Series 7. Yeah, again. We are looking at episode 6, which is a particular favourite, Wise Owl.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so horrible.
And yet so uplifting.
It is. I remember that was the big takeaway when we first did it. I remember bits and pieces of recording this one first time round, I think.
Yeah.
And that was one of the big takeaways, that joyous ending when we can go straight to the ending because this isn't the first time we've spoken about it. When he's walking away free, not being told what to do or what to think anymore.
Yeah. Growing moment by moment, becoming himself. Yeah. Breaking free from his life of taxidermy, or as a taxidermied human being, which was something that I picked up.
Yeah, I'm only just picking that up now. Yeah, I'm saying it.
Yeah, it was nice. I was like, oh.
I picked that up about 20 seconds ago when you just said it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, yeah, there's a nice metaphorical aspect to that of him. Yeah, we'll get to it. I made a note about it halfway through.
Ripping out him as a human being and just replacing it with
just this sort of mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, as we start, we should say that we have spoken about this in a kind of reaction episode in much more detail, kind of going through scene by scene, that, yes, we recommend you go and listen to first if you haven't done so already. Obviously, watch the episode first as well if you've not watched the episode, because we're talking about it, and it would be ruined if you heard us talking about it before you'd actually watched it. That feels like it goes without saying, but...
If not, what are you doing? Why is your first thoughts not only skip the first thing where we talk about it, but go straight to this one? We talk about a script book of something you haven't seen.
Well, it's like... I need to get to the end. Like I'm outcome oriented. I need to. If that's the final thing, then I'll
completed it.
Yeah, I'll just do
the
boss level, the final boss. Yeah. Yes, and so we will be just basically going through the script, comparing what we read with what is on the screen in the final episode, and talking about why there might be little discrepancies. And that kind of thing. So hopefully not repeating too much of what we've talked about before. And as Steve, you just said, I think I remember certain things that we discussed. But there's a lot that I don't remember. So we may well retread old ground.
Can't be helped.
Can't be helped. And sometimes it's fine. So
sometimes I think always it's fine, I think.
It's always fine. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, how was revisiting it for you as a starting point?
It's so horrible in so many ways. Poor Ronnie. Just what he went through, and then what he was blamed for, and the reason that it all happened. Like, all of those things are just dreadful. And the first half of the episode, I guess, is just him sort of shuffling around being a broken human being.
Yeah.
Why, out of all the knives he could have chosen, he went for the bread knife as the one that he was going to use as a weapon? I'm not really sure. Could have used any of them, Ronnie. You're going to stash away the bread knife.
Yeah.
In case you want to just soar away. Yeah, the increasingly dark animations just building all the way through it, just more and more dread, because they kind of catch you off guard when one of them is in the script, as it basically says that it was the one on the beach when the stranger tries to snatch him.
Yeah.
And then it basically just says this doesn't end the way that a public information film should.
Does it say that in the script?
It says, the animation ends far more bleakly than it should.
That's interesting. Yeah.
It's very deliberate.
Yeah.
We're going to make this more and more until these are no longer public information films. We're now being taught how to taxiderm. Is that a thing? Is that a verb? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that beach one is like, it's the first real glimpse of that being a truth in terms of Ronnie being left by the dad.
Yeah.
To just sob and be crying out for mummy. Like that's, I was really struck by that. Like, oh man. And then the idea of mummy and daddy being the safe point and strangers being the danger. And it's like, oh man, like,
I don't know if watching this back now as the father of kids who are, because first time we watched it, second one had just arrived maybe. But first one was quite young, and now they're kind of at the age where you can imagine matches being lit and things and all those kind of things, and there's a bit more suffering of young kids for me, I think. It's horrible episode, but
little personalities that are highly impressionable and still very much looking to adults as points of authority and safety and all of those kinds of things.
And that was the really awful thing about the final one, when it's revealed through the animation what actually happened on the sister's birthday, when Ronnie knew exactly what the right thing to do was. Where he said, no, you shouldn't be playing with the matches. Should she, Dad? Or Wise Owl? And Wise Owl's hammered and going, oh, let her play with them, let her play with them. And then, so Ronnie had it right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just negligence, it was actual full-on.
Yeah, it was, because it wasn't just that he
ignored it while it was going on.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
told them to do it.
I'm so drunk, I can't. It was like, oh, come. And actually, it was a personal dig at Ronnie for like, oh, why are you always so uptight about these? It's like, because Wise Owl's my dad.
Yes.
Would be the starting point. But also, this is actually quite sensible.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole safety matches. What does it say on the box? Safety. There, see? Safety matches.
They're safe.
They're safe. Yeah. So shall we go through... now I
was going to say similarities and differences, but that would literally be everything.
Yeah, that's everything. We'll just read through the script. Yes, now we've kind of covered random aspects of it.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, yeah. Anything early on that you noticed that was any different?
Yeah, so I kind of thought that the bits that were nailed on to not change were going to be the animations, because I thought that was kind of baked in. Right, this is what will be recorded. It's outside of our remit. It happens outside of the process, so they just get dropped in. But it turns out no. So at the beginning, when they first meet Wise Owl, it's scripted that the girl says, "Look, it's Wise Owl," and the boy says, "Hello, Wise Owl," when in fact they both just say, "Hello, Wise Owl."
Yeah.
And so that's really insightful, I know.
No, I picked up... No, there was something about that. And I was a little bit like, I wonder why they've taken out "Look, it's Wise Owl," because that sounds like more of a sort of children's public information. Oh, look, it's Wise Owl, like for the benefit of the audience as well as the characters on the screen. But that would maybe I don't know, indicate that they're in the middle of a series of these videos and everybody already knows who Wise Owl is. Hello, Wise Owl. We all know who Wise Owl is.
Yeah, that's true. And then they got rid of his spinning head.
Did he have a spinning head in this bit?
In the script, it says, that doesn't matter. The electricity will be conducted through the kite's metal rods. Wise Owl's head spins round. And it doesn't.
I didn't notice
They decided not to animate Wise Owl's head spinning round. And then later on, when real Wise Owl appears naked in the dead of night, he does do a head spin. Then that's quite a big moment in that horrible surrealist dream bit, whatever it is. So yeah, unless they just felt like it's not time yet to start getting weird.
Yeah, because I think in that situation you probably have to do the head spinning as a quirky thing that Wise Owl does, and it's like
there's no need for it here, and I think you're starting to enter iffy, unsettling territory a bit too early, because this is just meant to be taken at face value as a public information film, isn't it? And maybe it was just felt that let's not go too hard on this too soon.
Go full on Exorcist at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed, because they have the thanks Wise Owl boy, thanks Wise Owl girl, thanks Wise Owl, exclamation mark. Both of them have the exclamation mark. But the tone of the thanks Wise Owls were quite different. Like Ronnie is like, thanks Wise Owl. And then the girl says it in it's almost a more reverent or like gushing way, like a thanks Wise Owl.
Yeah.
And I was struck by how, the exact same line reads in exactly the same way, but like totally different delivery. Really interesting to me.
They also they changed the words on screen as well.
Yeah.
Instead of be a wise owl, it was a very specific, leave electricity alone.
Yeah.
Maybe you should always make your public information announcements.
I think it has the point, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, this is what we want you to...
Yeah.
Exactly. Be a wise
owl. The
owl.
takeaway here is don't.
Yeah, you'd imagine be a wise owl, if that's your little slogan, that would be kind of small on the screen, and then the main point would...
Leave electricity alone.
Yeah. But you didn't get any...
Sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes you need to use electricity.
That's true.
Don't always leave it alone. Be sensible about when you engage with electricity.
I think it's been quite a useful invention. Like,
I think so. I think it's probably up there.
Yeah. Am I using some now? Yeah, I think I am.
Probably. Yeah, I think probably are.
See, if we were wise owls, this podcast wouldn't exist.
Should we do a podcast about the invention of electricity?
Maybe there's something about that.
I don't think it was. I think there's controversy on that.
Yeah, there probably is. Yeah.
Was it Tesla, but not Tesla, or something?
Are we going into the electricity podcast like we did with the Bee Gees?
Maybe. No, let's not, because my knowledge is limited, unlike with the Bee Gees.
Doesn't stop some people. The next bit is cut.
Yes.
International Spare Bedroom Day.
It is.
Where a hand reaches and pulls a plug from a wall socket. We see Ronnie, a middle-aged man, serious looking, holding a portable radio. He moves to the window and peeps out through the curtains. We don't see that happen, but we see him from the outside peeping through the curtains, which is...
Extra-National Street Day.
Extra-National Street Day.
Yeah, so that's absolutely fine, that bit. It's just they lost the interior shot bit.
Yeah, and I don't think anything was lost by losing it.
No, I don't. I agree. Well done,
Thanks,
everyone.
Man.
Well done, everyone involved in cutting that scene.
Yeah.
Good time saver. I approve.
Now, I didn't have anything else until Mr. Blenkin arrives.
Mr. Blenkin. Yeah, and the main thing with Mr. Blenkin was more the way that it was shot and the cutting inside and outside. Because there was quite a few bits of like voiceover things, particularly with Ronnie saying things through the door. But I think it was important to go in and see his reaction to how that was playing out.
Did he close his eyes tight? Because I didn't notice that shot.
No, I don't think so. No.
And there's also, he's standing in, I think there's a slight bit of continuity erroring.
Go on, say it, go on.
Because from inside, he's standing to the left of the door as we're looking at, but he's actually
the door back.
On the right. Yeah.
Guys, all you had to do was have 2 cameras and just film it at the same time.
Yeah. You tell him.
Come on, guys. There's no excuse for that, is there really? Get it together. If they were on this podcast now, I'd be just having words.
Yeah.
There's a very subtle change.
I think I know what it is.
Is it the nice to meet you?
Oh no.
Oh.
No,
Ronnie
tell me.
Ronnie slams the door, and it says, the script says, Mr. Blenkin says, "Okay, nice to meet you." And what was recorded is what I think is probably more natural. Oh, nice to meet you too. That's the sarcasm.
Yeah. The 2 is the sarcasm.
The 2 is the sarcasm. What did you think I was going to say?
Just a tiny bit earlier than that. You'll barely see it when he's talking about where the rabbit's going to be. It's just that we're not ready for the whole death conversation yet, rather than as in the script at the moment. Mark Lawrenson reference there. And I think at the moment and yet do convey different things. Because at the moment is suggesting that there is a sore point at this stage of life, and actually if we put another bit of death in her path, she won't be able to cope.
In her path.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's just trying to walk down the road and someone's throwing dead animals at her.
Throwing death.
Oh, not again.
Yeah. But we've got all that to come with my mother. Obviously, well, actually, it's not. There's nothing obvious about that. What he means by that.
No, I imagine his mum's old, and at some point they're going to have that conversation. But let's not have it about the. Although, to be honest, the rabbit might be a good start. Start with the rabbit.
I mean, like Mr. Blenkin is a complete idiot in terms of like this. Just is a really bad way to approach death, in my view.
Pretend it hasn't happened.
It's like, does she ever get the rabbit out or cuddle it, feed it, or like anything?
Clear it, is it?
Droppings.
No, it's tired.
Yeah. Just tired.
No, I think that the pet is quite a good gateway to dealing with death. In some respects, I think that's what pets are for.
Killing.
No.
Allowing to die.
Allowing to run their course.
Okay.
An easy introduction to loss is what a pet is.
No, I get that, yeah.
Not always.
No, and it's not easy.
No.
No.
Nor should it be.
No, and death isn't. No, for most of us. Challenging. There's also a...
You speak as a deceased person?
Yeah, I found it really hard first time.
Although you kind of get into your groove second, third time.
I came back stronger.
Turns out what does kill you can also make you stronger.
Yeah, that's right. I had a dream last night that I died in a train crash.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I think... Mate? Well, what I discovered later was that an alarm had, someone's house alarm had gone off. Because it was like, I remember the dream up until this point, And
Was there like a 12 Days of Christine
it's I think
alarm
it's
going,
something like
bleeding
got
through?
in. It bled into my dream because it was like a fine dream, and then I was on a train, and then suddenly the train jolted, and this alarm started going off when I was on the train, and then I could hear the brakes screeching, and it felt like the train went off the track. We were going into a tunnel, and then I felt this really hot, burning fireball come down the, and like I died, like I got completely consumed. I feel like I felt the heat, and maybe it's because it was a hot night. But
were you a bit like, you know, at the beginning of Terminator 2, where the bomb goes off and he stood against the fence?
Yeah,
and just gets incinerated, and there's a skeleton.
It felt like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And then I did wake up in the dream, but it was like I was watching a replay of it from outside.
Let's see that again.
I think it was like watching the news report, but I was some kind of disembodied ghost. I don't know. It's just, Anyway, people hate hearing people talk about dreams, so I'm going to stop doing that, yeah.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Right, electricity. When was it invented?
Apparently it was a process of invention that occurred over hundreds, if not thousands of years.
That doesn't surprise me.
Sounds like a cop-out is what that sounds like.
Yeah, but this is how things work, isn't it? We love a simplistic explanation of things that actually happen in very mundane ways across loads and loads of people, and there's
the
not
collective knowledge
a single hero. Yeah.
We want to create a hero in the invention of electricity.
Yeah. Tesla.
Anyway.
There's a theme there running through history.
Yeah.
The box
The rabbit
on the table.
Yes.
It says Ronnie comes in and looks at the box, lifting the lid slightly. Inside is a dead white rabbit. He puts the lid back on and puts the box on the work table. Actually, he just sort of goes in and the box is already on the table, I think, and he picks up the lid. We see the rabbit.
Yeah.
And then he leaves it on the table.
Definitely dead.
Definitely dead.
And then we get a bit of a dose of some... Is it a dream? Is this his imagination? But what we don't get is any screeching, which is in the script.
Yeah, we hear like a seagull outside, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's about it.
We just really hear the flapping noise.
Yeah.
But I feel like the screeching might have made it a bit too horror-y. A screeching owl somewhere in the house.
Too much too early. Yeah.
The same with the spinning head earlier, I think. They're trying to build this. And I think screeching owl noises mysteriously appearing in the house might be horror time.
Yeah.
It's all gone a bit Jeepers Creepers. Which it
exactly.
hasn't,
yeah.
because they've avoided it.
And I think that's a really good call. Because like the next bit on the landing, it says Ronnie comes out onto the landing and walks to a closed bedroom door. He slowly puts his ear to the door. He listens closely. There is a sound like rustling or flapping coming from inside. Ronnie looks frightened.
We didn't get that at all, did we?
We didn't get that. We did. The beach. I think we heard a little bit of flapping.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting. I think in the script, Ronnie is more responsive, emotionally responsive than actually we see on the screen. And I think that was what I was really noticing when it came to thinking of that taxidermy idea. And actually he is, while obviously making decisions to unplug things and do those safety things, actually his demeanor is quite neutral in some ways, or like shut off, or there's just he's not really there. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on kind of emotionally.
No, he's, like you said before, almost like a mannequin in a person's suit.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what traumatic experiences can do to someone.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just sort of,
especially when
numbed out, shut down. Yeah.
Especially when you have been replaced, like your actual reality has just been replaced with a construct, and you've been told what the reality is over and over and over again by someone of this was just playing, this was just a game, this wasn't anything to be worried about. All of you were responsible for your sister dying. All of these things that have just been stuffed into you as an empty vessel. Horrible.
Which again, great taxidermy reference.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you've everything within you is this. Because when you see the taxidermy public information video, and it's the carcass is removed and incinerated, it's like that is essentially what has happened to Ronnie, and he's been replaced. Like all of the truth has been replaced by this false story, and he's had to sort of live life with that inside him. And I think that in terms of the bleakness, that really struck me of like how long he's lived with this, and with his dad just peddling this lie, and in that sort of very much gaslighting way to be like, stop dredging up the past, like all of those kinds of lines, like this is your problem, like you need to let go of this, you're being ridiculous. And it's just horrible. And then I kind of made a note of, we've got the stranger animation, and then Wise Owl saying, don't be a twit to you, always stay safe with your mummy and daddy, Wise Owl knows best. It's like that just hits in a different way when you
find out what the daddy is, possibly
what daddy is.
Bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. We then go to Ronnie receiving a call from his mum, but we don't actually see the FaceTime screen. He just picks up straight in with her on the screen. They got rid of a line in the conversation about the doctor.
Oh man, Steve has his lights have just gone out, and he is frozen. So I can only imagine he is experiencing some kind of power outage. But he has also just jumped forwards quite far. And I will tell him that we need to wind things back in a second. We'll just wait for him to come back. Hopefully it was just a power surge, maybe. We're expecting storms this evening. Power surge rather than a complete power cut. Quite appropriate. Given the theme of electricity, this is all...
Here he is, I'm back.
There he is.
Another one. Another little cutout.
Yeah.
Weird.
You just went completely dark and then disappeared.
Poof, poof.
Yeah. I was just talking to the audience on my own.
Oh, talking to you. Okay. Yeah. There was a line cut about...
I was telling them that you've just skipped ahead really far.
Have I?
Yeah.
I hadn't cut off. It wasn't. It was in her phone call.
Yeah, I know.
In the phone call with Mum.
The stuff before the phone call.
Was there?
Yeah, there's like bits cut.
Ronnie using a small torch to light his way, heads for the stairs. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Or is there?
Yeah, International Kitchen Day. So when he's taking the knives, he's not carefully putting them into a cardboard box. We didn't see that.
Okay.
And then there's a whole thing of him taping up the sockets in the living room and the stuffed animals looking on as he works. He then stands on a chair and unscrews the bulb from the ceiling pendant.
So we saw that bit, didn't we?
We saw the bit after that. So that was like
we saw him on the chair.
On the chair, yeah. So there's a whole... I think they imagined the setting up of that scene, but actually you could cut that and just jump to him doing the bulb stuff.
He takes one of the sharp knives back out, the bread knife.
The bread knife.
The
least sharp knife.
The least stabby knife.
Which maybe that is part of his... There's a safety aspect to that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to... It's like,
not the pointy
one.
one.
That's probably going to hurt more if you are serious about using that. I also noticed, again, to come back to this Ronnie the change in, like, subtle changes in Ronnie. It says when the postman pushes the letters through, Ronnie freezes and watches the postman move away. But actually, it's more just like he notices it. His attention is drawn to the postman, and
rather
then he goes
being
and,
scared of it.
Yeah, there's no terror, like freezing in terror thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole. They go into quite a lot of detail in the script about. There's a couple of bills addressed to Mr. W. Oliver. Then a brown envelope with a childlike scrawl that reads to Wise Owl. There's really just a letter with Wise Owl written on
front of it,
the front of it. Yes, there we go. And you can now go with what you were saying.
Thank you. There's the weird little surreal bit when he's brushing his teeth and the balloon floats up and you don't really know where we're at right here.
I wanted to make a comment about this is the series of teeth brushing. I hadn't remember, like, there's 3 episodes in the series with teeth brushing in it. I was like, yeah, Kidnap, 9 Lives Cat, and this. It's outrageous.
For me.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
So yeah, his mum calls. Like I say, we didn't see the FaceTime screen. It just went straight to him picking up. We're kind of getting a little bit of an insight into he's been somewhere. You haven't been in over 3 years. You know what Dr. Dinetto said? And he says, I can look after myself. I know you can, I just like you to be there, that's all. And that kind of conversation runs through. They get in. Oh, no, sorry. No, the Dr. Dinetto bit is in. It was a different Doctor line that was cut. So that is there. It was afterwards when they go into the animation. My bad. I was wrong there.
Oh, yeah.
The Doctor line that was cut was when they're in the hospital. The doctor says, I'm sorry, Mrs. Oliver, we did all we could. That's not there. Instead, it was her birthday. Why did you do it, Ronnie? Straight into that.
Yeah. And I think I was thinking about that because it's, to my mind, one of the reasons that might be is because actually it's Ronnie that's in the hospital. Yeah. Because Ronnie is in the hospital, obviously getting a bit of treatment. And actually, the sister she was dead before, like, there wasn't that she didn't make it to hospital.
Yeah.
And so that, it's kind of her.
We did all we could, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reference to her dying on an operating table or whatever. Where actually, Mother is there with Ronnie.
Yeah.
Creating that story of Ronnie has killed his sister.
And he's been convinced of that.
Yeah.
So then we get the really unsettling scene of Ronnie waking up to hear a door creaking open. And Wise Owl's head appears. Mm. It appears to be on top of a naked man's body.
Yes. I forgot really about bizarre. The naked man's body.
You forgot about it, did you? I remember it. Because I think I remember that someone found a picture from one of the League of Gentlemen books that had this in.
Yes.
This Wise Owl figure with a big old middle-aged man with a mask on top, and wondered how long this had been in their heads for. A long time, apparently.
Penises again
in this series.
Yeah.
Teeth and penis brushing. No. Penis and teeth brushing.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I think I'd in my mind it was a kind of like Frank in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Like just more of a life-size weird creature rather than no, that is just a man with a with a mask with an owl head,
Naked.
Yeah,
This is where we do get an actual rotating owl head.
yeah.
I think it goes through more than 360 degrees as well. I think it goes for a bit extra.
Horrible.
And we do get we didn't get a screech again.
There might have been some kind of. I think. Oh, it's not a screech. It was more of like a violin. It was a music thing.
Yeah. So it says again. It screeches.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not hearing. I think Christian Henson's doing the screeching with the soundtrack. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. And then we get to the taxidermy. It says Ronnie can hear flies buzzing. He gets up to see 3 or 4 big blue bottles buzzing around the box on the table that contains the dead rabbit. He gets up and shoos the flies away, peeping inside the box. Actually, I think the flies, you see a few flies, they're not blue bottles.
I wouldn't know a blue bottle, if I'm honest. That's unnecessarily specific in the script there, I think.
I think blue bottles are like the bigger ones.
Those are fruit flies. Don't be so ridiculous. This is the kind of insight that you're looking for.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to be concerned about that. It's just like
just there.
They're there again, which is just like there's this vacant aspect to what he's, even the way that he goes about the taxidermy. It's just sort of fairly matter of fact.
Yeah. There was a syringe in the rabbit that isn't mentioned in the script that is just left hanging out of his thigh.
Like him stuffing that back into the box. It's just like pulling out the wires and just great.
Because also when you look at the process that Wise Owl describes in the video is a lot longer. Like you're supposed to tan it and let it kind of marinate for quite some time before.
Well, it's like he talks about the goat towards the end. It's like that took him a month.
Yeah, he's done this in about 15 minutes. There's a slight change in language when in the animation. The little girl's supposed to, in the script, says, "I don't want him to go. I wish we could keep him forever. I don't want to let him go."
Yeah,
which is a slight difference.
I think there's a difference there, absolutely.
And then I think it's very much on at this point because the description of the video is horrifically very much on point.
Yeah. And this is where I made the note about. It feels like this is what has happened to Ronnie. At the end of this taxidermy video. When Ronnie himself says, or the girl says, "Thanks, Wise Owl," boy says, "He's as good as new." And it's almost like that is what Wise Owl has done to Ronnie. Like he's sort of created a new creature out of him. Then there's a direction cut from the next little bit where Ronnie picks up the rabbit and tries to bend down the ears. It still looks odd and frightening.
He's just stuffing it into the box fairly randomly, isn't he? There's not a lot of thought going into what he's bending where.
It's the eyes that he's chosen.
They're horrific.
With the specific instruction in the video, which is select eyes that are the right size for the animal. So, I don't know what he's gone for.
Mismatched bulging out of his face.
Incredible.
And then the conversation with Mr. Blenkin is pretty much as scripted. She'll have bloody nightmares if she sees this Franken rabbit. You want reporting, you're sick. And then we have the bit over the stove. Yeah,
there's a bit cut here. Ronnie stands at the stove. He holds a large box of matches. He stands for some time before sliding open the box and removing the match. We don't see that.
No, straight in, lighting it. And then there's the little animated section of Wise Owl watching the house burn down. There was then a thing cut that I'm glad they cut it because it would have made no sense. Ronnie shakes the match so the flame extinguishes, he's about to burn his fingers. Then he carries it over to the sink and runs the spent match under the tap. He didn't do that because that would be a ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah.
It's out.
It's a very strange direction, isn't it?
And it didn't happen anyway. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And then Ronnie watches the pan on the gas ring, which he doesn't do really. No. And he carefully pushes the pan handle to the side so it isn't sticking out. So I guess this is maybe just
safety.
more safety detail than is necessary. We've got the point, and again, it's like how much of him do you want to be like really, really vigilant about absolutely everything, and how much do you want him to just be like impacted by?
Well, the thing is, he tried to be vigilant, and look where it got him. He tried to say, "Don't play with the matches," and it ended up with the house burning down and him being blamed forever for it. So the idea that he would be a stickler for every single rule would probably be a little bit far-fetched.
And there's a difference, isn't there, between the kind of safety of the direction of the panhandle versus what we see with a fridge freezer when he unplugs that and then starts unplugging everything, which is almost a sensory too muchness.
Yeah.
Because it's like making a noise, and it's like all of these things that, probably like triggering traumatic nervous system responses in him. And I think, actually, like on reflection, that there's a big difference between the cognitive noticing, the pan needs to go that way, versus the stuff that is just in his body from all of that trauma shit as a child.
Trauma shit.
Which is a good shout, This is, again, making me really, really appreciate
both
the episode and the decisions that are made post-script.
So I was slightly confused about a direction. So Wilf then comes into the house. I was slightly confused by correct me if I'm wrong, but Wilf goes upstairs and it says in the script that Ronnie crouches on the side of the bath like a large bird. I don't think he was doing that, was he? He was just sat on the side of the. He was just sat on the side of the bath, wasn't he?
I think he was just perched.
Was he perched? Just not
sat.
Perched like a bird.
Like you'd say someone's perched.
Because I'm imagining him like on the side of the bath with his feet up on it, like hunched over with his standing on the edge of the thing, going.
With his arms in the air, like
exactly. He didn't do that at all.
He didn't. I didn't notice that.
It was quite a strange direction because he's not the bird, he's not the owl.
Yeah.
In any of this, so Wilf then has a big line cut about Stephen Fry.
He does. Yeah, there is a bit like when he arrives, there's some stuff cut as well. And just to go back just a tiny bit earlier as well, picking up on the lack of emotion in Ronnie, there's a direction in the animation of the, when they're at the grave side. And so now we're into obviously not public service or public information videos. We're
obviously not anymore,
We're watching things, that actually happened. It says a tear falls from the boy's eye, and there isn't a tear that falls from his eye. And you can see there's an element of sadness, but I think, again, it just feels like that the numbness is hit at that point, and then maybe that is just carried through his life. But you get the Wilf arriving. He goes to turn on the light, but it doesn't work. He sees the open drawer. You don't notice him really seeing the open drawer.
No.
He hears a sound, and then takes the torch from the table. And then there's two. So there's International Living Room Night, Wilf tries the dining room light, but this doesn't work either. He scans the room and spots the sleeping bag on the floor. Hello, is someone there? This doesn't happen. And then International Stairs Night. He heads up the stairs with the torch. I've no money, you know. And then he gets to the top of the stairs. So he doesn't say either of those things.
No. I also thought it was a bit weird that they had this direction in the bathroom scene where it says he squints as his eyes adjust. But nothing's changed because he's still just torchlight. His eyes aren't adjusting to a new
it's more like
environment. It's I can see you now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's someone there. Yeah,
you're in the beam. Yeah,
yeah.
Who isn't like a bird?
It's not like a bird. And then my next thing is the Stephen Fry line. Yes.
I said to my agent. So they were thinking of bringing him back 3 or 4 years ago. Computer animation, it would have been crap. I said to my agent, I'd be happy to do it. Then he said, then ask Stephen Fry. I said, yeah, because he needs the work, doesn't he? Throw him a bone. I don't know whether they just decided that it seems a bit harsh on Stephen Fry to throw him in.
Yeah. Yeah, that it feels like, is that a personal dig?
Has Reese or Steve missed out on work because of Stephen Fry?
Yeah, does that say more about them than it does about Stephen Fry? Yeah.
He then loses another line when they're talking about, he says, yes, I had a few. Oh yeah, did you get my letters? Yes, I had a few. I couldn't read half of them. Your handwriting's shocking. He says that, but then he goes on to say in the script, I still get quite a bit of fan mail, people asking Wise Owl's advice on this and that. Daft, really. And that felt like it was interrupting the conversation that was actually happening about him making the choice, even though he had letters from Ronnie that he didn't want to go and see him. Because after that, it goes into Ronnie asking, did you never want to come and see me? Felt like superfluous.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the only reason for having that would be just that sort of self-obsession reinforcing that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really does much of that anyway. No. Superfluous.
Superfluous.
What's fluous?
That just reminds me of one of my favourite lines from the US Office. It says, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
I'm antistitious.
I'm antistitious. I'm just stitious.
You're just standardly stitious. Again, so my next thing is when they get to... Oh, yeah. Wilf gets to the top of the stairs. Ronnie is behind him. So this is after we've seen the really dark animation
of Wise Owl drunk on the
armchair, and then
getting
Ronnie to go upstairs with him.
Yeah,
and he'd rather stay here. Wise Owl knows best. And then it's where you realise Ronnie has got his bread knife and is directing Wilf upstairs. Now what?
Gonna carve off a slice.
Yeah. Wilf opens the bedroom door and enters. Ronnie braces himself and follows. She doesn't. There's no bracing. I think you just see from the inside them coming in rather than from the landing them going in.
Yeah.
So it just feels. It feels like there's a flow to Ronnie that.
Yes, he's in control of that situation. He's not really having to think about this right now. It's almost like an on autopilot. Yeah.
But also fairly disconnected. And again, it's this flow that goes through the episode, which in the script, there are these moments that it feels like it would, I don't know, interject into that with emotion. With these moments like the bracing. And you obviously see it earlier in the episode when he's at the bedroom door and there's that sense of like, there's bad stuff in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get that here, where you don't see the bracing. I'm sure they filmed that scene,
possibly, yeah, and then just cut
in when they were editing. Yeah.
There's an extra little emphasizing everything put into a Ronnie line when he says, "I trusted you. I always did everything." While Zal said everything,
Yeah,
everything,
alluding
Just
to
really
the
alluding to
bad stuff,
the bad everything,
which was just a game.
Just a game.
It
Ronnie.
wasn't doing any harm. You enjoyed it.
There you go. He's
Which again is
creating a truth and stuffing him with it.
Exactly.
And then there's when he. So it says in the script that he throws the pillow at Wilf after he's stabbed it, but actually I think he picked it up and hit him a few times with it rather than just throwing it at him. Pillow fight. Who doesn't love a pillow fight?
Oh yeah, especially in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is the way that it's presented in the script is Ronnie falters, slowly approaches the bed, then he raises the knife and plunges it down 3 times.
Oh, that makes out as though we think that Wilf's been stabbed.
He's
with
being
the bread
stabbed,
knife.
yeah, but actually we see him stab.
We get the wide angle shot, don't we? And he's just stabbing it. Yeah,
because it says we reveal that he has stabbed it into the pillow next to Wilf, who cowers on the bed.
This isn't that scene from the first Lord of the Rings film where they all stab the pillows.
Yeah,
and you think that all the hobbits are in the beds.
Yeah,
and it turns
maybe
out
that was what
pillows.
was on their minds. Yeah.
That maybe they were thinking that this was very much inspired by the Fellowship of the Ring. And then the last thing I've got actually is something that it's not really a script difference or anything, but it's not noted in the script that when Wilf says the line, "And we must always do what Wise Owl says, mustn't we?" They kind of switch into almost like a vocal effect.
Yeah.
To make it sound like it's the
from the videos.
The videos, and it's horrible.
Yeah,
but then we see him unstuffing himself and reverting back to a real human being again as he casts off the shackles of Wise Owl's gaslighting and
it's like he's a real boy, like
it's
Pinocchio
a happy ending.
moment. Yeah,
it's a Pinocchio moment.
we all love a Pinocchio moment.
We all love a Pinocchio moment. That well-known trope.
There is an extra Ronnie stop added in.
How is that?
As he's shouting after him. And also it says Ronnie picks up his rucksack and brushes past Wilf. And actually, Ronnie is closer to the door than Wilf.
So
he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to have that confrontation. He's just like he's free to just leave. Yeah, and then get stuffed. Final
happy
line.
Ending.
Beautiful.
Happy ending.
And again, I love that get stuffed as a It's such a clever episode. It's a really thematically rich episode, I think.
It is.
Yeah, really, really good. And horrifically challenging to watch, I think.
Yeah. Enjoyable nonetheless.
Yeah, I think
we're here to be challenged.
One of the best 29 minutes of TV.
Is it only 29 minutes? I feel like we've slipped a bit on that recently.
We have.
Highlighting how much they managed to fit in 29 minutes.
Into half an hour. Yeah, it's, I think so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I managed to watch it this morning before the cricket started. So, yeah. I think I started watching.
Challenging. Well done. That was a challenge that you needed.
Exactly. Great. And that's it. So, do you know what I reckon would be good is to, although we do have an issue in that we have 3 episodes lined up that I need to publish. But I was thinking
Right.
our next episode could be sort of a breather episode where if anyone has any questions or whatever, we could just chill out and have a little break before we. I feel this is really stressful. Before we jump into season 8,
yeah, I could go for that. I thought you were going to say, wouldn't it be really nice if we managed to wrap up an episode without disappearing into some absolute garbage?
Oh, we can do that as well.
At the end of it.
We can do that as well. That would be nice. So if you've got any questions, about this, what we've talked about recently, or anything about
Comments,
Inside Number 9, we'll just
you want to chip in with.
let's talk. Let's just whatever. We'll
Just
go.
have a
we'll
conversation,
freestyle.
guys.
Yeah.
Unlike the tightly scripted stuff you usually get.
Then do get in touch via email, aquietnightinside09@gmail.com. Or I think I've been signed out of Blue Sky, so I do need to log back in and see if there is anything waiting in there. But yes, or on Blue Sky at AQNIN9. And if you fancy donating a few quid for keeping the hosting costs covered, then you can do that via the PayPal me link in the description, and we'll give you a shout out in a future episode as well, unless you stipulate that you do not want a shout out, in which case we will respect your right to privacy. Cool. I think we're done. Let's not descend. We don't have to go anywhere else.
No descent required.
Let's just finish there. All right. See you then next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.